Okay, great. So we are now recording, and keep in mind that does record the chat. I don't plan to post that chat, but just FYI, that records both the group chat and individual chats that you send. So first, I wanted to say welcome. We have at least a couple of folks here who are new to Western. I think Dan, do you prefer Daniel or Dan?
Dan, actually, thanks.
Okay, great. Hi, Dan and
Hello.
Leanne. Leanne, I think you both are new to health and exercise science.
Yes, hi.
Hi, welcome. And I think everybody else has, well, I should say Hillary Fouts is also new. If y'all have not met her yet, she's our new Dean of Graduate Studies and Research and is fantastic. So again, welcome to all of you. I'm sorry that this is the time that you're starting at Western. This is a really bizarre time to be starting a new job. But such is the world we live in. So welcome, and hopefully we will see y'all in person someday in the future. So what we're going to be talking about today is the online system that Western has for doing what some people call PRC binders, tenure and promotion binders, but the materials that you're submitting to your division as part of a regular review process before tenure, and then as part of your tenure application or your promotion applications. It's a fairly new system to Western. Last year was the first year that we ran this for real as a system and had quite a few faculty use it. You can still do your binder in paper. I don't know how well that will work out this year, but that is an option if you'd prefer to do that. And if you do that, I would highly recommend you make sure you've connected with your division chair on how they want that done, or the chair of your committee at your division, because divisions have very particular rules about how they do that, some of the divisions. So let me just jump right in and, okay, I've shared my screen. Let me know if you can't see it. And what we have, this is I wanted to show you first where you go after this in case you have questions or want further information. So this is the Provost website, the Office of Academic Affairs. And you can get to the information, I think we have it down here, evaluation, tenure, and promotion, or you can go to faculty resources. And I'm just going to click on that. And we don't need to chat with anyone. And then I'm going to go to career and professional development and evaluation, tenure, and promotion. Yes, I don't need to chat, I promise. Okay. So here we have just the due dates for this year, a link to the CBA if you really want to dig into the details on this. I do recommend skimming through that if you haven't already. And then we have the two options, which will just take you down here. And so I'm going to essentially go through some of this stuff, but this is where you can come back to get the cheat sheet that has the basic step-by-step instructions, to fill out the form to let me know you are going to use this system, if you haven't done that already. And that's pretty much that. So to get to the system, you're going to go into your portal, and amongst all the other stuff there is this lovely Tk20 button here. That's the system we used. It's called Tk20. I'm not really sure why, but that's what it's called. When you click on that, it's going to take you to a screen that looks essentially like this. Obviously, it'll have your name instead of mine. And the very, very, very first thing you must do like if you're drinking your coffee and zoning out right now, stop and pay attention to me, is you have to change your role. The way that TK20 works is that access to things is based on what role you're in. So it's like, I'm going to take off my faculty hat. I'm going to put on my applying for promotion hat, and or whatever you're doing this year. So you're going to click on your name in this upper right hand corner, and change. And you're not going to have I have a lot of roles because I'm an admin, but you'll have 2 or 3 at most. And what you're looking for is PRC binder access. And this is on the cheat sheet. And again, when you don't have a ton of roles there, it'll be a lot easier to figure out what you want. And that's just going to confirm. So this is pretty basic when you go in here. You probably won't even have this one. This is probably just because of my role. The report is actually something you do later on. So this allows you, anything you're entering in the system, you can make yourself a report to save for your records. It's a way to kind of export everything off. So what you're going to do is go to faculty qualifications. Click on that on the left. And I do kind of like to explain to folks, we didn't call it faculty qualifications. This particular module in the software was originally built for schools that their accreditation requires showing that each individual faculty member is qualified to teach each course that they're teaching, or something along those lines. I believe that's more of a something that happens in the southern states. So that's why it's called faculty qualifications. We're not, it doesn't, the name doesn't fit well, but that's where it comes from. And so this is essentially where you're going to be putting in all of your items. And these categories up here are based on the categories in the CBA, but they don't, some of the stuff inside doesn't match exactly. The way that we set this up was to try and make sure that across the very disciplines that we have at Western that have a variety of scholarship and research and academic activity that they're doing, that everyone could find a home in the categories for their items without those categories getting so out of control you can't find anything. So the front matter is pretty straightforward and self-explanatory. You will have, so only one of you, Robert, will have the librarianship tab, which you may not have yet, Robert, so don't freak out if you don't. I just have to add you to the proper group. But you should all have the teaching tab, the scholarship tab, service tab, and other. So I'm just going to kind of go in and show you what it looks like to enter an item here. And I do want to, as you all probably know now from the delight of Zoom teaching, it's hard to watch the chat and the faces and the screen sharing. So if you do have a question, please feel free to unmute yourself and jump in and ask any questions that you have along the way. And welcome, Omar. We haven't gotten too much into it. I think you've seen the beginning stuff before, Omar. But we are recording, so you can always go back and watch again later. So I think what I'll do here is, let's see. Actually, I'm going to add an item to scholarship. So I'm going to add a book. And so what I did is I just clicked that green plus button on there. And I'm going to say, Bev's awesome book. So when you add an item, Some of these fields are going to be different depending on what type of item it is in here, but they're all going to require at least two things. One of those is a title. And so sometimes this may seem duplicative, like for the Vita, your title in the category of Vita might be Vita. That's fine. You just have to put something there. And everything requires a status, at least one status, because this is how things are sorted and organized. And so for a book, for instance, you have multiple types of status. And so you can go, well, I've proposed a book and I proposed it in January 2019, for instance. And then I'm going to add a status and say, oh, it was accepted in, I don't know, and on. And you don't have to be that detailed. You can just put date of published. But this allows for you to say, hey, look, I have a book in process this year. And then you go back the next time you have a review or a binder due, and you can add in so they can see the progression of that. And you just look for the dates, just look and see what format it wants the date in. I think I saw a chat. Oh, so again, here for subcategories, these are going to vary based on the type of item that you're adding. So for a book, I'm going to say, it's a textbook or whatever it is. So here's where you're going to notice a little bit of a difference between the CBA, the categories as they have them in the CBA in like a little table, and how it's set up in Tk20. So in the CBA, they have the list of potential items or example items broken out by the categories, and I forget the name of these categories, I remembered it last year, but the different types of scholarship. And so they have a list of, here are things that might fit into scholarship of discovery. Here's scholarship of integration. And rather than putting those into different tabs, we just made a checkbox here because, well, things can cross over between, you can have something that fits into more than one of these. And it seemed like it would be more confusing to have a tab for each of those with then a little subcategory of books under each of those. And so that's how we're handling that. So check with your division if this is your first time doing a binder. Some divisions really are interested in you checking which category or which type of scholarship it is. Some don't care at all. Again, that's one of those little division specific things to check on. You can indicate whether it's peer reviewed or not. Add authors to this, editors. And again, these are things that you're going to see these sorts of options on some of the activities where it applies, and some of the activities you're not going to have these, you'll have other types of options. And then for all of the items, you're going to have a place where you can put other information. And so if you have some information that doesn't fit into the fields, or you want to put a narrative about it or description, you can do that here. You can click on rich text formatting and put in, center things, put in, numbered lists, put in a picture, whatever it is that you need to illustrate what you want to illustrate here. And then the other item that other field that all items are going to have is the ability to add an attachment. And so I'm just going to grab the first thing that's there. Oh, okay. Well, I tried to add a really weird attachment. So let me find something else. Well, here's a text. So in terms of attachments, there are a variety of attachments that you can, the one that I tried to attach was actually code, and that's probably why I didn't like it, because it probably seemed like I was trying to hack the system. But in terms of, again, you can attach a lot of different types. What I highly recommend is if it can be in a PDF, upload a PDF. And that's just because the committee that's going to be reviewing these, they have to be able to open that file, whatever it is, on their computer. So for Lucas, who's in computer science, it would make perfect sense to upload like a text file that has code in it, because I'm assuming his colleagues will be able to open that in a code editor and take a look at it. There are certain fields that have software, like geography uses GIS. So having that type of file might make sense. If you know all of your colleagues have the software to open that, great, go for it. But just be aware that anything you upload, your colleagues need to be able to open it. The other benefit of PDF is that when they go to open it, for most of them, it's just going to open up in their browser, where they're already looking at your materials. They don't have to download it and open it up in a separate program. And so making things a little smoother for your reviewing committee, always a good thing. So when I'm done with all of this, I'm going to save. And keeping in mind, you can always go back and edit this. When later on my awesome book got published, I'd go in and add a status. I don't need to add a whole new item at that point. The only time that you can't go in and edit your items or add things is during the actual review process. So when you finish putting all your stuff in, you're going to email me and say, done. And then I'm going to lock you out, essentially, from being able to do this. And that allows for the committee to review your items, send it to the dean, and the dean reviews your items, and on it goes, without having any changes in the meantime. We have had some folks who submit and then realize 2 weeks later they made a mistake. Something came in that they were waiting for. And as long as your division chair or your committee chair says, fine, we can reopen it so you can add that in. That's not a problem. Again, as long as they're okay with that. So, so it's a very similar process, again, with the other categories and the other items. The one little difference here is service activities. So this is, again, one where it's broken up into various types, whether it's institutional service or professional service. And again, because these things can cross over, what we did was, you can make a summary statement if your division wants that, but we made them all one type, essentially. And so you put in here, say I'm a member. So let's say that actually, let me do a real one and that'll. So I joined Staff Senate, I think, this year. So I'm still on Staff Senate, so I'm just going to leave the second date blank, and it'll note that it's current. Okay. So now down here, again, rather than having separate little subcategories, you can choose everything that applies to this. So this is, I don't know, leadership at, we'll call it college level service. And again, I can type a narrative, add an attachment, and save that. So you'll notice these are the same items that were here when we first came here, and I don't see my Staff Senate thing on there. It only lists 3 at a time, because otherwise it would just be a mess on your front page. So you can click on view all service activities or view all, whatever it is, or just click at the top there. And then it's going to list everything that's there. Oh, look, I've got Staff Senate on there twice. That's great. So, so that's that. I'm going to pause for a moment here so that I can have some water, and also to see if anybody has any questions. Okay. Not hearing anything. Oops. Okay. And then other, again, these are just matching those CBA main categories. If you're going through and you're like, I cannot find any category that my particular, usually this is some type of scholarship or creative activity, it's not fitting into anything, you can put it under other. You can also drop me an email and let me know. And I can look into whether we can add another category or subcategory. There's already a lot there, so we don't want to have so many that it's hard for people to find things. And I might be thinking about the portal when I say that. But certainly if there's something that is common in a division and it's not represented here, I do want to know about that so we can add it in. So there's also a shortcut up here. Rather than going to the tab, you can do a quick add and be like, oh, okay, I need to add a summary statement for my librarianship. And just click it up there and it'll create a new one right away. Okay. So that's essentially what you do. Once you're done with all of that, like I said, you'll want to email me and let me know, hey, Bev, I'm done, I'm ready to submit. And then what happens is, again, I turn off your ability to access this or your ability to edit it. And then I send a notification to your division's committee and open up access for them to see it. And then the normal review process goes from there.
Hey,
Yeah,
Bev,
Dan. Yeah.
quick question. So we have to request access first and foremost from the provost's page, and then board.
So everybody who registered for this, I already gave you access. If you don't have access already,
Okay.
what I would say is so that you can go in and look around and try it out. If you do, and I really just need to change the link on this page. If you do decide to submit through this method, go ahead and fill that out.
Okay.
Because that lets us know, oh, they're going to submit through this. And basically what that does is let me know that I need to watch out for you saying, I'm going to submit this. And if I don't see anything by the due date, I'm going to say, hey, are you still doing it this way? Did you forget to tell me? Because a couple of people did forget last year. And so I want to make sure that we don't have that kind of situation come up again.
Oh, thank you.
Yep. Okay. So let me show you that report option. And this, again, this is a way to make your own report of, to save for your own records of what you submitted. But this is also going to show you how your materials are going to look to your committee, because when they run the report, it's going to look exactly the same for them. And so when you click on reports, it's going to take you, or I should say, let me back up. When you click on reports, you'll probably just have one here, but if you don't, my PRC materials. So just click on that. And up here, you can decide, you know, if you're just want, like, I just want to see my scholarship this time, you can do that. Now here's the kicker here. These, the date to and from are super important. When you first do this, it might just have today's date in there. So when you're entering your items and you're putting those statuses in there, this is where that comes into play, is that you can narrow this to only show you things that have a status, you know, within a certain time period. And that allows, you know, I've heard some committee members say, well, I want to know, what have you done for me lately? So when you get to, you know, you're applying for tenure, they're going to look at everything, but they also want to see, hey, what have you done in the last couple of years? And so that allows them to, you know, look at everything and then go back and really narrow in. So if you want to make a report of everything you've entered, I just suggest putting, you know, I've put in here a date that's before I was born. So I'm pretty sure I didn't do anything prior to that. And then just way out in the future, so I don't even have to think about it. These options down here, like these two, you know, whatever. If you want your name and date on it, then say yes. This one, I recommend saying no. And what this does is, when, for instance, when I was adding that book item, my awesome book, there were all those little fields. And when you add a journal article, there's even, I think, more to them. So you got a DOI number and the publisher and the scope and the da-da-da-da-da. You're welcome to fill all of those out. You're also welcome to do what some faculty do and just, you know, put the title of the article and the date and then upload a PDF. It's really up to individual faculty preference. And so when you say don't include the blank entries, this means that it's only going to show you things that you've filled in. You don't need a whole bunch of blank entries there saying DOI blank, publisher blank, because it's all on your PDF. And so when I'm training the committees on this, I tell them put no, because otherwise the report is going to be too darn long. So I'm going to hit generate. And you get this lovely little, which apparently our vendor told me they created this little image because they used to have just a circle going, and some reports take a while, and they were getting emails from people that they had counted the number of times the circle had turned before their report showed up. And apparently this bothers people less than seeing a circle turning. This is taking extra time. It might be because I'm zooming as we do this. Here we go. Okay. So here is the report as it's going to show up. So one sort of odd, and I don't know why I'm listed as deaf and professional studies, but whatever. One oddity of this is where I was just telling you, oh, you should click this thing that says don't display blank entries. It's still going to show you categories that don't have anything in them, even though it seems like that would be the way it doesn't work. This is it's the same way it appears for everybody. Don't worry about it. Our committees are very good at just skipping over those. And obviously, I'm not a faculty member. I don't have a lot in here. I have my fake book that I attached. So this is essentially what they're going to see for your items here. And you see it's got the information that I entered here, but it doesn't have the fields that I didn't fill in. Those are just not there. So it looks cleaner. I've got my attachment here that I can download. Oh, look, you can actually see that. I'm going to close that real quick before Lucas sees how bad my coding skills are. And, you know, as I scroll down, I'm going to see all the other various things I've put in. So you can export this, just export to computer. And I'd recommend doing a PDF, tends to work better. And while you're in this, you can also go back. If you forget to adjust the date, you can adjust it right here, change your category, etc., without going back out of your report. And so there's just a couple more little quirks and tips about Tk20 that are more general. Don't use the back button. This is one of those weird websites that doesn't like when you use the back button. It doesn't work well. Use the navigation inside of it. So that could be, you're in here, you're done with the report, you want to go add something, just click over here. Or go down and click cancel at the bottom. But sometimes it'll work if you hit the back button, but I wouldn't count on it. The other thing, and this one drives me bonkers, is it also doesn't like opening things in multiple tabs. This will probably drive some of you crazy. Like, drives me crazy. I have been known to have, you know, so many tabs that you can no longer read what's on the tab across the top there. It doesn't, I've found minor workarounds, but generally it does not work well. Just try to avoid it. And the other odd thing it will occasionally do is if you save a page, say you go in here and you've added an item and there's a whole bunch of information, you're scrolled all the way down, you click save, and it kind of looks like it does something, and then you come to a screen and it looks like this. You're like, crap, it froze up on me. And I still get hung up on this sometimes, or tricked by it. What it did is it left your screen scrolled all the way down on the next page. And so you just have to scroll up to the top. I've seen other websites do this, it's really odd, but that's just kind of what's going on there. And so that's the like quick and dirty of how to do this. Once you get in and start digging into it, if you come up with questions, feel free to drop me an email. You know, just play around with it a little. It's not a system that like you're going to click something and you're going to crash the server or break something irreparably. You'd have, the way that Tk20 works, if you're going to delete things, you kind of have to do it one at a time. So I'm not aware of a way that you could accidentally delete all your stuff at once. So really just give it a try. And if you do somehow figure out how to delete everything all at once in your portfolio here, let me know. They do keep backups, as long as you tell me like within a month or so, like tell me within a couple weeks, and I can contact them and they can recover that for you. But again, if you do, tell me how you do it, because I have no idea how you would delete all of it at once without, you know, back-end database access. So, okay, I've talked a lot about this. Any questions, comments, concerns, whether about this system, about the PRC process in general? Now's the time.
Hey, Bev, I have a question.
Hey, Lucas. Yeah.
So do we have to, so is the report that we generate what our committee sees, or do they generate their own?
Right. So they will generate their own. Each of them will have access to this system, and they'll generate it when they're ready to take a look, whatever time. So you don't need to generate it and email it to them or anything like that. That's just if you want to keep your own copy.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
Yep, good question. Anything else? I know it's a Friday morning. It's
Bev,
yeah.
can you hear me?
Yep.
Oh,
Hi, Omar.
I just wanted to say thank you for how incredibly helpful you've been to all of us, not only with this, but everything else that is going on at the university. It seems like you're involved with everything.
It does
have an
feel
answer
like
for
that
everything,
sometimes.
and you answer very quickly to our emails and everything else. So just want to say that you have made this and other processes a lot easier. So thank you for.
Thanks, Omar. I'm glad I could do that.
Thank you.
That's kind of my goal, is to make this kind of stuff easier so you can focus on actually doing your job, rather than the little fuzz on the edge of your job.
If only everybody else was as effective as you. Anyway, I'll stop talking. Thank you.
Oh, but thank you, Omar. I do appreciate that. I do. And it's been a pleasure to work with all of you guys. Yeah. Let's see, I see chat. No. No. So again, if you do think of other questions in the future as you're going along and doing this, drop me an email. And you know, generally it's been a shitty year, without question. So please take care of yourselves. I've been so, you know, so pleased by the comments I've seen from students about professors that are reaching out and checking to make sure they're okay and sending them resources and just being really caring. And it's so critical for our students, but you have to take care of yourself to be able to do that for the students. And so I very much appreciate, because I don't work with students, I like send my good energy through all the faculty for that. And do take care of yourselves. And I wish you all the best in this crazy term. And have a good weekend, everybody.
Thank you, Bev.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bev.
Thank you. Yep.